Today, we are diving into one of Silicon Valley's most explosive and, honestly, most controversial companies, Mercor. Now, depending on who you ask, it's either the absolute future of hiring or it's a sign of something way, way more unsettling.
It really all starts with this number right here, $10 billion. That is Mercor's valuation. That puts it up there with the most elite tech unicorns on the entire planet. But how on earth did a recruiting company get there so incredibly fast? And that really gets to the heart of the question we're digging into. See, on one hand, Mercor looks like this revolutionary platform, connecting the best talent with these amazing, high-paying AI jobs. But on the other hand, you've got a growing number of users who are saying, hang on, something else is going on here.
To really get the controversy, you first have to understand the incredible hype. I mean, Mercor's rise wasn't just fast, it was absolutely meteoric. And it was fueled by a crazy injection of cash.
The key thing to see here is the sheer acceleration. I mean, they went from a pretty modest seed round in 2023 to a massive $350 million Series C just 2 years later. They raised nearly $500 million. This isn't just growth. It's like one of their own engineers said, it's a rocket ship. And you know who's piloting that rocket ship? Some of the biggest names in tech and finance. We're talking Peter Thiel, Jack Dorsey, even former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers. Not to mention top-tier VCs like Benchmark and General Catalyst. Look, this isn't just money. This is a huge stamp of approval from the very heart of Silicon Valley.
So, okay, with that kind of backing, what does Mercor actually say it does? Let's take a look at the official story, the one they present to the world.
The company's CEO, Brendan Fudi, he boils it down to this really simple, powerful line. Their mission, he says, is to connect the most elite talent with the world's most valuable companies, mostly in the AI space. It sounds like a super modern, next-gen consulting firm. But the real money, the engine behind that $10 billion valuation, that came from a strategic shift. Now, the CEO insists it was not a pivot, but Mercor very quickly aimed its entire business toward a new gold rush, finding human experts to train AI models for clients like OpenAI.
And the pay they're offering? It's incredible. We're talking up to $150 an hour for PhDs and lawyers. Even creative experts are pulling in $60 an hour. This is the bait, right? And it is extremely effective at getting top-tier professionals in the door.
But here's where the whole story takes a very sharp turn. While Mercor was out there celebrating all its success, a totally different narrative started popping up from the people actually using the platform, the applicants.
And the contrast is just stark. The promise is super clear, amazing, high-paying remote work. But the reality for so many people, which you can see detailed all over forums like Reddit, is this really frustrating process where they do these long, detailed, AI-driven interviews, and then nothing, just complete silence. This user on a work-from-home subreddit just nails the common complaint. They're saying there's all this intense communication before the interview, and then, boom, a total lack of response after. It's a pattern that has left thousands of applicants just confused and really frustrated.
And this comment, this one gets right to the heart of the suspicion. The idea that the interviews aren't really for hiring at all. The theory is that the applicants are actually training the company's large language models, their AI, by giving expert answers, with no real job waiting for them at the end.
So how do we connect the dots here? A $10 billion valuation on one side and thousands of unhappy, ghosted applicants on the other? Well, this is where we might just uncover Mercor's real business model, the secret behind all the hype. So to understand their strategy, you need to know this term, a proprietary data moat. It sounds complicated, but it's not. In the AI world, the company with the best, most unique data wins. And investors are betting that Mercor has found a brilliant, if pretty controversial, way to build one. Let's just look at the numbers for a second. Some reports suggest that Mercor hires less than 5% of its applicants. So what happens to the other 95%? Well, their applications might not get them a job, but they generate something incredibly valuable: data. So here's the alleged strategy all broken down. Step 1, use that high pay to attract the experts. Step 2, have every single one of them complete a really in-depth AI interview. Step 3, hire a tiny fraction for the real contract work. And then, the crucial step 4, use that huge treasure trove of data from everyone else to build and sharpen your own proprietary AI. The recruiting process, it isn't just for recruiting. It's a data harvesting engine.
And the implications of a model like this go way beyond just one company. What we could be seeing here is a fundamental shift in the entire AI economy.
Now, to be fair, Mercor's CEO has publicly denied training their AI on interview data. He's claimed that the volume just isn't large enough to be useful. So that adds another layer of complexity. Is it a genuine denial, or is it a really carefully worded statement to kind of distract from what they're really doing?
And this brings the issue right home for all of us. When you spend hours on an application, answering super detailed questions, doing these automated interviews, are you just applying for a job? Or maybe without even realizing it, are you providing the raw material to build an AI that could one day do that exact job?
The story of Mercor really highlights a new economic reality. In this world, you can be an applicant, a user, and the product, all at the very same time. A company's value can just skyrocket based on the data moat it's building, and your professional knowledge becomes the resource that's being mined.
Which leaves us with one final and really critical question. As this AI gold rush just continues to accelerate, we have to constantly be asking ourselves, who is digging for the gold and who or what is actually the product being sold?